Good morning. We're back at the farm today. It was a late one last night, so boys are here somewhere. They must be out helping Grandpa, but they were working on getting the tar off of this grain cart real hard yesterday. If you missed the end of yesterday's video, I put in a bunch of footage that Rylan had recorded with the GoPro, and at the very end of that was them working on the grain cart. It was pretty funny. Go check that out. But happy 4th of July, everyone. We've got a few different things going on today. We're going to get the 8RX hooked up to that grain cart, switch those tractors around. We're going to get the combine out and the bean head out, hook them up outside, run everything, make sure it's all good, get the computers set up like we need them to be. Maybe this afternoon we'll go combine some wheat. Probably take a sample. We'll probably go do a hand sample after lunch today. See what kind of moisture we get. I think Dad's up about as far as he's gonna go. Running out of boards here. Might get another course or two is all. Looks really good. Came up to the rain field here. I want to do a catch test on the injection pump, see what our actual rate is, so we get that flow meter working. But I also saw that the machine was right on the edge here, and I thought, hey, that's a pretty good time to get out and go see it. Make sure everything's still good and working, and we haven't lost any drops, which we have not. Let's walk out here and take a look at this while it's close. So the end rows on this field are some of the poorest looking corn, but even they are growing really fast, getting tall, looking good. All right, you want to see something cool? Corn agronomy lesson for the day. So look how wet our leaves are here, first of all, right? That's a disease issue that we're going to keep a close eye on. Now they're going to dry up fairly quickly here, and you got to have prolonged leaf wetness to get disease. But all that it runs down these leaves, and the corn kind of funnels it down to the base of the plants. And look how wet it is right there. We didn't get any rain overnight. That's just from the dew funneling down this plant, running down the base of that stalk right to its roots. Pretty cool. Is it enough moisture to be significant and do much? No, not really. But is it cool that it does that? Yeah. Also, all these wet leaves mean that I'm going to get soaked as I walk out here, but what are you going to do? That's awesome. We appear to have a water leak somewhere. Where's all that coming from? I don't know, but we got to figure that out. Somewhere up there, it's spraying right there. Uh-oh, we got a hose pinched. Uh-oh. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, it's still working and the water's still going in the field, and I'm not we're not going to shut it down because of that, but that's going to have to get fixed. These end rows where we got tracks and everything through it, the water doesn't stay in the rows like we want it to out in the field, but it's all right. It's still putting water on, so all our drop nozzles look okay. Yeah, that leaky hose though. Huh. So it's right there where that one support bar is. It just looks like it got pinched there or wore through or something, but it's literally like 3 feet from the connection point. It's done that first wrap, which means all the hose has got to be off the machine. Probably could just shorten the hose by that much. Don't even need to really fix it, but that's going to be interesting to watch. I'll let the dealer know, and I'm sure they'll come out and do it. Like I said, the water's still going in the field. It's not the end of the world, but that never even comes off the reel, so I'm surprised that it did that. Well, I did a catch test from our injection nozzle there. It was a little more than I wanted, so I turned it down some. Not bad though. We used some out of our tank. We're down below 900 now, which is good. Means it's actually pumping something. I'll have to kind of compare time to pumped volume. Yeah, we'll get that flow meter fixed, and then I'll feel better about stuff. but it's working. All right, so I talked to the dealer. He said he could come tomorrow morning, fix that hose. Yeah, I'm not super concerned about it. Like I said, it's probably been like that for a little while, actually. But yeah, it's definitely spraying water out. Did not see that issue coming. The injection pump issues that we've had, I saw those coming. I knew that was going to happen. A hole in the hose right next to the connection point, I did not see coming. I don't think there's a reason to shut it down, but it's not ideal. So you can see right there in the center where that pipe sticks up, that's where the water enters the hose, and then 1, 2, 3 braces or whatever parts of the reel back is where that hose is. It's slid a little bit. That must be sliding and tightening and loosening based on which direction the reel is going, and that's what's causing that. Interesting. Not good. I'm sure my dealer, Taylor, will get it fixed up and taken care of. They have one of those plastic welder or hose welders where they can cut the hose and then heat it up and melt it back together. But being that close to the end connection, I don't even know if that's necessary. I think you just shorten the hose by 3 feet. The problem is it's all got to come off. The hose has to be entirely off of that machine to do it. So we really need to be at the longest path where it's, you know, completely unwound in order to do that, and I don't know when that's going to be or where it's going to be to do that. So we might have to move it around a little manually, tell it where to go. I think we can get one of those paths that go out and around and towards the end rows on the other side. That's pretty close. I know when we get clear to the back, we're out of hose, but I don't know about clear to the front. Well, let's open the door up and get our combine out here. We got to drop the head, back the trailer in there and get that off. I think everything is good to go on it. I know I need to move an extended monitor from the 8RX to the combine, but I don't know if there's much other than that setup stuff. Alright, well, we got the head off and out of the barn. We're going to go pull it out in the driveway where we've got a little more room, hook it back up, and then we can run everything and test it. Hooking it up the second time went much smoother. And oh boy, this thing is huge. I know they make bigger ones, but this is massive to me. Yeah, combining mode. We gotta switch gears here and get back into combining mode. All right, I gotta hook up the PTO shaft, the hydraulic electrical connector there, and then we'll see if we can't make this thing run. There are a couple of calibration procedures we're gonna run through. Things like electric threshing clearance calibration. That's the clearance of the concave. Since we had concaves all out last winter and we adjusted all of that, you want to recalibrate it. So it's doing that. Same thing with the sieve and the chaffer, since we had those out last winter. This will be the first time we've started it up and ran it since we had the complete guts out of the combine. I guess I shouldn't say complete, but you know, we had it all torn apart and cleaned everything and stuff. So it's always a little nerve-wracking. You always start slow, leave the door open so you can hear if anything sounds off, but we'll try and make sure we've got everything good here and just go through some of these procedures. Alright, well, we're getting our grain tank unfolded here. Okay. Now, like I said, door open. We're going to engage the separator. We're going to bump it, get everything spinning, and shut it off right away. Our cylinder might be in neutral, so we'll have to check that, but I just want to listen and see if anything sounds weird. Okay, everything's good there, but we got no rotation on our threshing speed, so we got to go engage that. Okay, let's try this again. A little squeaky. A little speed. A little more speed. Awesome. Idle it down. Let's try the head. Watch not squeaky. But it's running. Oh, our center draper belt's not spinning. Why is our center belt not spinning? We gotta check the tension on that and make sure. There might be a neutral on that gearbox. It might be a neutral. Let me go check that. There we got it. The gearbox was in neutral. We're gonna get a little oil or some kind of lubricant. Shoot it on that cutter bar just to. It won't last long. It's really pointless. But we'll do it. It'll take my squeak away. It's gonna go away pretty quickly anyway, I guess. Nice. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Everything seems good. Yeah, a little oil goes a long way. It's not squeaking anymore. I really don't think that'll last. It's just going to attract dust and then get taken off. But it's fine. We got it. Alright, I think I'm ready to unhook the head now. Put it back on the trailer. Well, we got the head unhooked. We're going to fill up fuel, def. A couple other things we got to get around. I need my extended display to put up here. I'm going to get my iPad mount up here for running Connect Mobile. We need some tools for the toolbox. And most importantly, we've got to fill the fridge up with some drinks. Test fire in the burner on the GSI top dry. Bill must be anticipating drying some wheat. Fine by me. The quicker we use up, or the quicker we get started and get some wheat out of the field and they get to straw baled, we can get double crop beans planted. So I am totally fine with starting when wheat is 15, 16% and drying it. Doing a little receiver swapping. I put the 7000 on the sprayer. I'm taking the 7500 and putting it on the combine. Reason is this one has an SF-RTK subscription. The 7000 does not. In the spring, I have a 3000 with an RTK radio, and I have a 6000 with an RTK radio that we use for the planting tractor. So I figured, well, I might as well put the RTK on the sprayer, the mobile RTK, or what do we call this? Starfighter RTK. And I could put that 3000 on the combine. That's what we've always done in the past. But I figure I've got this one. We're not doing much spraying this time of year. Let's put it on the combine. Now that we have a GPS receiver and a second monitor, we're getting all this stuff set up. I got that bracket, but I don't have my iPad yet. We need to calibrate our TCM. So easiest place to do that is right here in the driveway. We're going to line up with the door on our part shed. Tires. About right there. Then we come into here and we go to setup and we say calibrate and we mark a reference line and we push that, and now we have to spin around and face the other direction. About right here, we push the button. Calibration successful. As hard as that, or as easy as that is, it is so hard to do it consistently. Like, there's times when I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And then you run the whole season, you're like, oh, never calibrated the TCM. Whoops, my bad. Anyway, try and do it when I'm getting stuff around, if I remember. Well, I got everything there except for the drinks for the fridge and the iPad. That's good to go. Now let's get the grain cart ready to go. I backed the grain cart out of the shop here. The boys did a really good job getting this tar off. It's not perfect. They did not get it all, but they got a bunch. Brayson worked really hard on this. So did Ryland for a while. However, they did leave a nice film of about 4 different tar removers and diesel fuel and stuff over it. So we're going to wash that off because it's just going to attract dust and get really sticky. So I'll hit it with the hot water here real fast and clean it off. Whew, it is hot. All right, that's better. I'm gonna go find somewhere to unhook this and get the 8RX out. I love this tractor. All right, we could pull the grain cart with that 8R that it was hooked up to. But I'm still trying to put some hours on this track, the new track that we put on there this spring, before we have major road time, like a trip to Berkey this fall with the grain cart. Plus, this tractor has machine sync and will run with the combine. The 8R does not. So that's a big reason why. I think we're almost good to go there. I got to get the iPad, the older iPad that we have, for the scale head for the Agromatics Libra cart system, which is awesome, by the way. Really like that system. And so we're going to put the iPad in there to run that. I got the other iPad to go in the combine for there. Everything's good. The iPad for the grain cart is dead, so I'm letting it charge before I put it in there. Just got back from lunch. Let's go grab a sample. I'm gonna find a bucket. We're gonna go over to the wheat field that I think is the driest and pull a bunch of heads off, put them in the bucket, and we'll bring it back here and thresh it out and see where we're at. Let's go for a walk. This is our early maturing wheat. AgriPro SY 547 is the variety out here. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that, but that's what I'm pretty sure. We're gonna double crop beans in these fields. That's the plan, at least. And it looks ready. So one of the things we look for in wheat, obviously we're looking for the stems to no longer have any green in them, which we don't see very much of here. But the other thing is these heads, you'll notice that a lot of them are starting to hang down. We call that kinking over. And once you start to see that, you know your wheat's getting reasonably dry. It's mature. We've been hot and sunny all week. It's really pushed this wheat along. And I think it's pretty close. So I'm just going to go through here. We're going to go like this and pop it up, pull off some of these heads, put them in my bucket. This is a two-handed job because I need one to hold the bucket and one to pull the heads off. And we're going to walk around. We're going to try and hit some of the low spots. We'll walk up the slope here a little bit and back to our truck. And then we'll take these back to the farm and thrash it out and try and get a moisture sample. That should be enough. Now you may be wondering, how are you going to thresh that stuff out of there? Well, get yourself a paint mixer on a drill and mix. This is a little bigger one than I would like to have, but it's the one I could find. After a little mixing, you get something that looks like that, and you use your air compressor to blow the chaff out. But gently, don't blow all the grain out. After a little bit of air, you end up with a grain sample that you can run through your tester. So we bring our sample out here, and then we test it. $17.6. That's wetter than I was hoping for. Bummer. 17.6 is a little wet. So we want to be 13, right? I was hoping we were going to see 15, maybe 16 on that test. Now that was taken at 1 o'clock, 1:30 by 5, 6 tonight. It might lose 2 points of moisture and be down there. I'm not saying we won't go combine today, but we're going to hold off for a little bit. That's a little bit too wet for us. Well, since the wheat's a little bit wet yet, we might go try it later. I don't know. I decided to bring the gator over and do a little spraying along some roadsides and field edges and stuff. This is where we sprayed with the drone a couple of days ago. The beans are greener. It didn't green them up quite as fast as I thought it would, the manganese. But we also hit them pretty hard with some Liberty that same day to kill these weeds. And look, it was 2 days. We did a number on these. We'll have to watch them to see if they actually die or if we just burnt the leaves off of them. But yeah, the Liberty worked pretty good. They're certainly not happy, so they're either really mad and going to come back with a vengeance, or they're going to die. I'm not sure yet, but it appears that we got decent coverage on it. Look at this one over here. She's really wilting down. If I didn't know better, I would say that's a dead plant. But I also know better. We'll see. About as good a results as I could hope for from spraying with a drone for the first time. And when we zoom in on our beans, you can see our new leaves are
more green. We don't have that interveinal chlorosis on the top leaves like we do the lower leaves. So the manganese is working too. It just didn't green up the existing leaves as much as it is the new ones. Hopefully that stuff keeps moving through the plant and they green right back up, but we'll keep an eye on stuff here. We have some spots that are like this where we just didn't get close enough to the edge of the field with our herbicide for whatever reason. There's a bunch of weeds growing in this first row. So I'm coming along trying to clean them up. It isn't going to save the corn, but it'll at least make it look a little better. Keep the weeds from going to seed, hopefully. It's a little breezy, but we're very coarse droplets here. There's not much drift. It's been a few hours since we did our spraying and checked the wheat the first time. I was just kind of out back here by the field behind the buildings and did this and got a handful and crunched on a kernel, and these are quite crunchy compared to what we were in this morning. This wheat's not supposed to be drier. It's supposed to be a fuller season variety, and it was planted after the fields that we tested this morning. Now, it was planted within a couple of days, so the planting date's not a big deal, but it's a fuller season variety. I didn't expect this to be dry. It feels drier. I'm not going to pull a sample. We're just going to test it. We're going to pull a big sample with the combine. Let's go. Worst case scenario is it's too wet and we run a dryer batch off and we quit. But in order to do that, we got to get 1,500 bushels. So let's open a field up and see what happens. Problem is, I don't intend to double crop beans in this field. I suppose it could be double cropped, but that's not the plan. Also, we've got a lot of down wheat down there that's might be a little green. I don't know. This is probably a bad idea. We're gonna do it anyway. Let's do this. See what happens. We're gonna run around or pass and around on the ends. We gotta make sure our losses are good. We gotta get everything dialed in. We gotta get all our settings right. It's gonna take me a minute. I'll check in with you guys in a little while. Yeah, let's try it. We got dust out the back. Do we got a windrow out the back? Yep, sure do. Cool. Alright, check in a little bit. Alright, well, for a first pass, our sample's not terrible. We can clean that up a little bit, but I'm happy with it for what we've done. Let's get out and look at the ground, see what it looks like. I didn't really look at my loss monitor to see what it said, so it's going to be a little hard to draw any conclusions from it, but we can at least see if we're keeping most of it in the combine or not. Now, keep in mind, wheat, 40-foot head in a windrow, you can have some kernels on the ground and it is okay. I believe it is 144 kernels per square foot to equal 1 bushel. Yeah, in fact, it may be more than that. It might be 144 across the whole width of the combine. So when you concentrate it, that's a lot of kernels. But let's see what we got. I'm gonna see some. I don't want to see 100. Trying to shake the stubble and get it out. That's probably too many. I mean, it's less than 100, but like there's a whole pile of them there, right? So we'll make some adjustments. This is the first pass. Here comes my grain cart. Oh boy. All right, well, we're making a pass right through the middle here. We'll see what it says. So right now it's reading 15%, 115, 120. Oh, that's good wheat. This is a pretty good spot in the field though. You can see we got some down wheat over there. I decided not to take that first pass because I don't really want to get into all that green stuff right off the bat. I'm sure we're going to combine it and I'm sure it'll be fine, but I just thought let's start with some drier stuff for right now. Yeah. I think I got my losses, my monitor calibrated. So those bars on the bottom there are yield loss monitor. And if it's running there, it's good as long as I got it calibrated where I want it. We're still going to try and work on it and bring the losses down, but it's not bad. All right, let's get this field opened up and we'll see how far we make it. We'll see what field tester says. I figured something out. So this is not the variety that I thought it was. This is AgriPro GP893. This is a new new variety of wheat for this year. This is the first time I've ever planted it. It is to replace the 547 that we have in that other field that's supposed to be, that's my early wheat. This is supposed to be early as well. It is. It's a little drier, I think. I don't know that it's drier, I guess, but it's good wheat. Well, all I did was go down to the other end of this field, and this is short rows. They're not half-mile rows by any means. Make a pass on the ends, short ends, and come back. And can you guys see that in that little window? Our grain tank is dang near full. In fact, it is full. This is good wheat. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I don't know if it's quite dry wheat, but it's good wheat. Well, we might be done just like that. My cutter bar has broken, it appears. I was not cutting on part of it, and I didn't see it because there was still wheat going across from the outside. It's cutting down there, but not here. It seems as though the cutter bar has broke. Let's go out and take a look here and see what's going on. Okay, well, it's not exactly broken. What happened here is that the bolts didn't get tightened, and they all fell out on the splice. Okay, well, I can fix that. It's going to take me a little bit, but I can fix that. Alright, we should be in business. I got that splice put back together, tightened up those bolts, tightened up a whole lot of other bolts. And as far as I can tell, we're good to go. Back in business. Clean cut behind the head. Alright. I think we're going to finish this to the east here up to the building site. But that down wheat we're going to leave tonight or for a while here. We could go work up on the high ground on the hill up there if we want to keep going, but we'll have a drier batch by the time we get this done, and that's I think what the goal was. So I don't know if we'll do much more than that or not. See this little strip here that's down wheat? It just started when we got behind our building lot here. See, what happens is there's sprayer tracks right there. There's another set of sprayer tracks right there that you can just barely see. This is the overlap. This got double shots of nitrogen and fungicide and everything else because we don't have individual nozzle control or exact apply or any kind of fancy stuff on our sprayer like that. And so this is the part of the section that it overlapped. Well, it's not a whole sprayer width, but it's enough. Yeah, moisture's gonna keep climbing. 17.3, 17.5. That's what happens. This is why I want to upgrade sprayers, because we could use a little more technology in our life. Anyway, we're gonna combine through this one because I want to finish this, but there's a bunch of it back there. It's not just where you overlap the sprayer, but that's oftentimes where we see wheat go down. Basically, it gets too much nitrogen, grows too tall, gets too heavy, and it just can't support itself. And then it stays green. But it's okay. The combine doesn't like it. You hear that growling through there? Doesn't like it at all. This is kind of fun, guys. This is kind of fun. 120 bushel wheat at 13.5. It's gotten drier as we've gone here. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. But this is good wheat. It's good. The grain cart and the combine, actually the grain cart said there was more on here than the combine did. We'll have to wait till we're done with the whole field before we can really know for sure. But yeah, it's good wheat. It's pretty good wheat. Well, we got another cutter bar issue. This time it's the whole thing. I wonder if the bolts fell out of the end. I didn't check the drive bolts. Yeah, kinda. That's kinda what happened. It's not the two bolts up there. It was the bolt that holds this end that came out, and then that end broke. Fortunately, we have more of those. Supposed to look like that. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt to fix too. I'm not in a great spot. It's alright, we'll get it. Okay, so I got the two bolts that hold the actual drive head, the bearing, out. And I got this cutter bar slid out far enough that we can get to these bolts. But basically we've got to replace this piece. We have a couple of those. Got to take all these bolts out in order to do that. Well, there's what she's supposed to look like. Something tells me that bolt did not get tightened. And it fell out and eventually it broke. So anyway, we'll go put this one on. Back running again. I tightened the other side up too. It was pretty loose. Hopefully that's the end of our cutter bar issues. Got her finished up on the east side there. I came back and took one pass because I was on the wrong end of the field. We got her full that time. A few sprinklers. Don't turn too sharp. What do we got done? 14 acres. Oof. Phil says we need a almost full semi-load again to fill the dryer. And that first batch, or first semi-load, averaged 16, which is not horrible. It's not great. So we're gonna combine until we get that much. And that's probably about it. Well, that's not a full semi-load, but it's close. I don't know that we need any more, but we'll go run these ends off on the backside. Technically, this is all one field over here. All this, oops. But there's a spot there that we kind of go around, but they're connected far on the far side. Where all the wheat's down, and I don't want to combine that right now, so we'll go do these end rows. They should be dry. All right, well, we've got plenty now. We're gonna call it a night. It is 8 o'clock anyway. I mean, I could probably work for another half hour or maybe an hour. But that was sort of wet back there. 15.75 it says average, but combine's maybe reading a point drier than what the tester is. There was some green spots. Really good, 112 average dry bushels. Wheat looks like it's going to be great yield. We're just not quite dry yet, but I imagine tomorrow we're going to roll pretty hard. That is an awesome grain cart tractor setup. Yep. All right, well, wheat harvest is underway. Hopefully we got our first day issues out of the way, and it's smooth sailing from here. Like I said, I think we will hit it hard tomorrow. Kind of depends on if we find more dry wheat or not. I don't know if we'll keep working out here. We'll move to that other field. Yeah, like I said, this variety out here is a new one that's pretty dry, early maturity compared to some of the other ones. I know, like the wheat out here, I think is a fuller season one, plus it was planted later. I should look up all these varieties, double check to make sure I got them right, but it's time. Now, what I don't want to do is put a bunch of straw on the ground and then have it get rained on before they can get it baled, and then I can't get double crop beans planted. So I would really like to go to that other field tomorrow, combine that wheat, and have them bale the straw, which they said they might make it there tomorrow to bale straw. And then we can start planting double crop beans either tomorrow afternoon, late evening, or Sunday. And that'd be great. Thanks for watching today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. It was a pretty good one. Have a great night. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Hope you still have your fingers by the time you're seeing this. Don't hurt yourselves tonight. And happy 4th of July. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Look for a live stream. It's going to happen soon on YouTube. I might try and do a TikTok live. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, happy 4th. See you guys.